Welcome to our new video series on leather care. I'm Morgan, I'm the digital marketing manager here at Mix, and I will be showing you the wonderful world of leather. Of course, I'll be bringing in people that know a little bit more than me so that we can have our questions answered, but anyway, I'm excited to get started. Leather is a durable and versatile material. It's a symbol of quality and craftsmanship, but it does require you to take care of it. You can't really set it and forget it. So this video series will cover the basics of leather care, whether you're an aficionado or you're brand new into the leather world. Join us as we dive into practical tips and techniques for preserving the beauty and lifespan of your leather items. This series will give you the knowledge and confidence to keep your leather goods in top condition for generations. So let's get started on the journey to proper leather care together. All right, today we're going to tackle the importance of proper leather care, and I've brought an expert to help me with this because I'm brand new to the world. This is Luke. He is a boot expert. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
But you have a big collection of boots, right? Even some vintage nicks.
Oh, yeah. I have tons of boots, tons of vintage nicks, and it started before I even was working here. So it's been a thing I've been doing for a good while.
So I trust what you're telling me. So I have some questions for you for proper leather care. First one, why is it important to invest time and effort into caring for your leather boots?
So that kind of goes with the question of why do you get the leather boots in the first place? And that's because they're an investment. So for most people, getting a pair of boots that is going to be in the $500, $600, $700 range, it's kind of important to know what you're doing with them. It's kind of, you're going to get an exponential amount more return with it when you know what you're doing with it. And there's a lot of, I would say, not necessarily misinformation, but just stuff that isn't discussed or people that don't know it clearly or 100%.
Next question, what are the consequences of neglecting your leather boots?
That return on investment exponentially goes down. Neglecting can be a little bit of an interesting term because it's sometimes part of the job process of what you do. So if like you're an iron worker, you're going to get some neglect and you're going to get some wear and tear on things that is going to be different than from someone who does asphalt or so on and so forth in different job occupations. The thing that's going to happen with neglecting your boots, not taking proper care, is you're just going to lose so much life out of them. You're going to lose a lot of the inherent value in them. You're not going to have something that's going to be a timepiece that's going to grow with you. It's just going to fall away. It's really just skincare, you know, because it is flesh, it is skin. And there's important things to do as, you know, not over-treating it, not under-treating it. It's a good, healthy balance to make something that lasts as long as you do. You know, I know some people who take better care of their boots than they do their own face. So
Right.
that's kind of like the thing with it. And so with that, it reflects in how well the appearance is going to hold up over time.
Okay, nice. So when you're talking about that appearance holding up over time, we're talking about preserving it. What role do cleaning and conditioning play in preserving that appearance and the integrity of the boots?
The amount of stuff that I've seen boots like come in that they have just caked on, you know, a lot of wildland firefighters, they'll have tons of ash and things like that, stuff you can't really avoid. So proper cleaning is going to give that a new fresh slate to be in and be able to put more preservatives and things on it that's going to be like nourishing to the skin, you know.
You compare it to skincare a lot. So I do my skincare rituals morning and night. Should you take care of your boots every day like that? Yeah.
So absolutely. I mean, there's not necessarily like you have to condition them every day. But I mean, little things, even like taking a brush to them, super important.
Okay.
Because it's no different than like, there's probably tons of dirt and materials out there that have lots of clays in them. And, you know, it's kind of like the thing, you know, you put a little bit of kitty litter on like an oil stain and that soaks it up within like a day or two. And if you have that, basically that clay mesh material that's stuck onto your boots, that's going to dry them out significantly. That's going to put a lot of wear on them. That's going to just make them start cracking, and a whole slew of problems can happen with that. And, you know, it's as simple as just taking a brush to it,
Okay.
doing that every night or every morning, either which way. You don't necessarily have to do it twice a day. You can, which would probably be good. But as long as you're keeping an eye on it, that's the best thing you can do, especially if you work with mud and all that sort of stuff.
Gotcha. And I'm new, so when you say brush, what do you mean? Is there a certain kind that I have to use?
So, I mean, we sell a lot of good nylon brushes. They're a little bit stiffer bristle. Those ones are really good for getting a lot of the excess sort of just really hard to get stuff off. There's also, like if you have a rough out leather, because a lot of work leathers are going to be rough out leathers, that one is good to use like a little brass bristle.
Okay.
You can usually find those at like a common, like any type of welding store or anything that would have for like cleaning. Those are good for keeping like the fuzzies going up.
Okay.
And for really like making sure that it still has its like consistent sort of matted down sort of look. But in general, those are pretty much the ones for it. You could also take a look at like a horsehair brush, something that's a little finer.
Yeah.
So a lot of the harness leathers, like some stuff that we get from Wicked and Craig, those ones are a little bit more sensitive to things because it's just the way of the nature of the beast. So taking a little bit finer care of them, you're not necessarily going to get them drenched in mud. Some people do. I've seen some people wear them for like work boots and things like that, which I wouldn't recommend, but I've seen it happen.
Right.
Horsehair brush is a good way of keeping it nice, clean, and polished. So it's a good overall balance of making sure to keep an eye on it.
All right, very nice. Last question. I'll let you get back to your day. You did say there were some misconceptions earlier, some people talking about leather care that don't really know. What would you say are some common misconceptions about leather care that people should be aware of?
When it comes to conditioning boots, a lot of people will over-condition a lot of times because they're really, really worried about, oh, okay, I just did this thing, It's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum of someone neglecting it. They're doing it away to where they're trying to be overprotective of it, and they'll put tons of grease, tons of sort of just slather it on, And you'll get boots that come back, I call them sticky boots, because when you touch them, your hands just kind of go. That's not like a good balance to it.
Okay.
And the thing with that is that could also be damaging, because if you put it in areas that like have like sort of tighter tolerances, the leather needs some firmness. So like around the eyelets, things like that, you wouldn't want to touch with grease. You maybe on occasion if it's starting to get really, really dry, but it can lead to all sorts of problems. And, with that mixed in there, if you still have that thick grease layer on top, dirt's just going to cling to that more. And so you have the issue of like this cycling, like, well, it's covered in grease. It's going to be more water resilient, but you have clays that are packed in with the grease. So that's why there's an important like step process of brushing it down first, then applying, and then really trying to get as much off of it as possible.
Okay.
So it's, just light applications of what you're supposed to do.
Gotcha. Okay. And we will show you the process of actually cleaning, conditioning the boots as well. So we're talking about it now, but you'll see it in a future video. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
People can call in and ask you these questions as well, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love answering them because there's tons of different types of leather. There's tons of ways of taking care of stuff. And it's sometimes you get a little bit more of a nuanced answer depending on the situation and what you're working with,
Okay, awesome, thank you. I really appreciate your time, and we'll have him back, so put questions for him in the comments. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on the series. We're gonna cover a lot of topics for you, including essential tips for your care, essential items that you'll need to have with you. We'll cover the right leather care products. We'll demonstrate techniques and methods that you can use. We'll show you how to clean your leather boots, including conditioning and moisturizing the leather, dealing with any scuffs, scratches, and wear, and of course, seasonal care and storage tips. And we'll have a lot of other great tips along the way, so make sure you don't miss out. We want to make sure that we're answering your questions, so make sure you put those in the comments as well. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.